All right, so day 41. I'm not gonna waste too much time because I'm on a little bit of a time crunch right now. So let's just kind of get started. So here in the photo, kind of following along with what we did with day 40, with the behind or that we went out in the backyard, just shot more landscape, which is what you're gonna be seeing here from behind the scenes. Of course, taking on the new camera on the brand new Insta360 X4. Again, I can't tell you how much I just in a little amount of, or just in the little time I've had, I really much enjoy this camera. It's by far going to be probably one of my most used gears in this channel right now, right? So again, nothing too special as far as just with landscape. I just want to take just simple photos, nothing too out of the ordinary. So nothing to complicate, just something simple. Just as far as I guess you can say a creek, right? So that's what we got. As far as with what changes I'm gonna make to it, I don't know. I would really need to see, just mess around with the options that I got here. Just really, at this point, just fooling around in a way. Now, yes, yet again, I was not able to upload yesterday. But at that point, I mean, at this point, kind of like I've stated, I'm gonna get busy during this upcoming days, hell, maybe even weeks. I'm gonna get busy. So if there's some days that I'm just not gonna be able to edit or upload, and at this point it is what it is. I kind of can't do anything. That's kind of out of my control now, so I kind of can't do anything. However, I am gonna kind of talk about it a little bit as far as what I was trying to think of, especially as I was coming back from work, right? So although we've crossed day 40 and we're on day 41 right now, as far as what is my overall plan or my overall goal with this journey, I'm gonna be honest, I really don't know what's the next step for this journey. I know I've stated previously that I've always wanted to, do something with this journey, which again, I'm still trying. I'm gonna still try to do something. But as far as what's the next step, how to kind of evolve these videos as I'm creating right now, what's the next step as far as, going along with this journey, I've had some thought about it. I've had some thought about it, and maybe, just maybe soon, the whole aspect of these videos may change. And what I mean by that is, let me kind of explain it. So obviously, as you guys are seeing now, you've guys seen it for the past 40 videos now. You guys have seen me for roughly, give or take, 30 to 40 minutes of the editing process of, for me, editing photos that I've taken, right? Whether that's a couple months ago, a couple days ago, hell, in the same day, who knows? It all depends on the day, and if I got a little lucky as far as I was able to take some photos, right? It all depends. So it's vastly different. That's been roughly the past, give or take, 40 videos so far that you've seen. It's just the editing process. Sure, I've just recently started to include behind the scenes footage as far as, what goes on in my head and what do I tend to look for when I'm out and about taking photos, right? Although I have thought about it. I have given it some thought. And again, I always tend to say to myself, I always try to put myself in your situation or in your shoes as far as a viewer. Would I find a guy for 40 or 30 to 40 minutes moving around some sliders at this point as their journey, right? Some may argue that it's fine, others may dispute of that, which, I agree. So what am I trying to say? I think what I'm really just trying to say is that maybe soon. How exactly? I'm not entirely sure as far as when that's going to take place. But I may switch it up a little bit. I may switch it up as far as not so much focusing these videos as far as with the editing process, more on the fact that you just get to see me going out taking photos, this time of multiple photos, not just of editing one photo. Because I will say, a comment I will say for me personally is that although I really do enjoy doing this as far as recording, taking photos, editing them, and then video editing, as much as I do enjoy that, it kind of bugs me a little bit that I'm only doing one photo at a time. It kind of does bug me. And I like to go ahead and see how other, I guess you can say, content creators do it, how they tend to do it. And what I have seen is that obviously they don't just primarily focus on one photo. They do multiple during a video. In some cases, it may be like POV shots. They go around, they show you exactly what they're looking at, they capture it, and then they just show you the edited photo. Not the editing process, just the final edited photo, what changes they made with it. So again, I'm still thinking about it. But as far as with me, sitting down for 20 minutes, 30 minutes maybe, showing this as far as my editing process, I think we're gonna reach. I don't want to say a lot because at the same time I'm not too entirely sure if that's gonna be the case or not. But I think we're reaching a point as far as I think you guys have. I wouldn't say gotten tired of it, but maybe you guys have just already kind of know my workflow, and you really wouldn't be more interested with this. I think personally speaking, I think you guys would be more interested if I were to show you guys what photos, or I guess like POV, take you guys with me and show you guys my thought process. And at this point, we're gonna turn it, instead of editing a photo, of me taking a photo now. Again, I would definitely still need to really kind of analyze that and kind of really think about it and see if that is going to be something I am going to do or not. I was just, because again, I keep on saying that I got to put myself in that creative mindset, but just today I was looking at more of a video, kind of not really showing much as far as how to put yourself in that mindset, but just as far as the attempt to take one photo every day, which I've made that one of my goals. How good have I been following up with that? It's questionable, right? But I think we've stated because of my workflow, but I'm not gonna try to put my workflow or my work schedule as an excuse, right? I'm sure with more motivation, whatever the case may be, I'm sure I'll be able to do a better job. What I'm basically trying to say is that, kind of like what I've stated, as far as with this editing process, which you guys are seeing now, I think it's gonna come to an end. And possibly, I think the date, it probably may end on the 50th. Maybe. I would still need to think about it, but right now, as it's looking, I probably have intentions on already closing off, I guess, this chapter of the journey as far as with the editing process. Now my next step would be, at that point, POV style videos, taking you guys in my thought process as far as what type of photos I see. And then that way here you guys can have some sort of image as far as, you know, what's going on or why did I decided to take a certain photo. Because I'm sure with these photos, as although I do tend to, I try my best to explain, you know, why did I take this photo for a certain reason, whatever the case may be. Although I try my best, I can see how for you guys it may seem random at some point, as far as, you know, oh well, why did he? Yeah, sure, he explains it, but why did he? There's got to be a different reason. I don't know, right? All I'm just saying is, and I really just wanted to talk about it as far as there's gonna probably be a shift in this journey. And I don't mean like, okay, I'm finishing off the journey here. No. As far as my intentions, I don't plan on ending this journey. Not yet, at least. Although scheduling more recently, not just for work, but also personally, because I got other projects gonna start taking place going on in my life. It's gonna be more of a hassle or more of a challenge, or it's gonna take more of an effort from me to not only at this point go out, take behind the scenes footage and make that as my video, and then at the same time edit all those photos I take for one video. It's not just gonna be that, but just personally speaking, maybe with time management, depending on how these projects are gonna last, not just with work, but again, personal projects that are gonna start occurring in my personal life, it's gonna be interesting to see how I handle that. Again, I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna really kind of try my best to do the best that I can with that. But what I'm kind of, like I've been stating throughout this video, what I really just wanted to let you guys know is that as far as with this style of, or this, I guess, as I'm gonna call it, this chapter of the journey, the editing process that I've been showing you guys over the past 40 videos now, I think I've done enough. I think you guys wouldn't say over it, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if you are. And I think that it's time for me to do something new about it. To do something new. That's really all what I gotta say. And every single time, I keep on forgetting to crop this photo. But nonetheless, now that I've kind of gotten that out of the way, let's kind of jump right back to what the main priority of the video is, which is the editing process. Now, of course, normally, I think you guys already know, we've done our basic adjustments, playing around with tone curves a little bit, as I stated last video, that we're gonna prioritize and implement more of these other 3 tone curves. I tried my best, although can be questionable if it did any change. I personally like it. Color mixture, not too much of a drastic change. Color gradient, very minorly, not too much to really do. Detail, it's just very minor as far as with sharpening and detail. And with effects, I think if we were to add in just another vignetting effect, I guess for me personally speaking, I like to add in vignetting effects to kind of landscapes. Well, depending on each photo, right? Because it kind of gives it, for me, it kind of gives it that nice vibe, aesthetic vibe, I guess. Now, is that my end goal, to make this photo a little bit more aesthetic or more pleasing? I'm not entirely sure, right? I'm still trying to, at this point, I'm just really going all in, seeing what the hell sticks, but that's really kind of what my thought process is right now. Before I do any changes, I don't know what changes we have made, so if we were to, okay, so I can see from the before, it's kind of there, yeah. I can see this is a little bit more greener. Again, we're making this some sort of a vibe. I can't say exactly what, because I wouldn't say that this is like a vintage look. I wouldn't say this is a film look. but it's got some look to it. I don't know exactly. I can't tell you guys exactly what the word that I'm trying to look for is, but I can say that it is definitely green, a little too green maybe. But I think personally speaking, I actually like how it came out. So we're gonna leave that be. Now, calibration again. I still need to look at it as far as with what the hell this even does for my photos, but all I like to do is just tend to play around with the sliders, see what adjustments I make to see if it makes the photo a little bit better, or you know, if no changes are needed, then I just leave it be. Now, as I look at it, I'm still debating as far as if I'm gonna include if there's gonna be any masking needed for this photo. Although I'm kind of going back and forth between this blue primary calibration. I think personally we'll leave it like that, but if we need to come back, we'll come back. Now, any changes or any masks I would create for this photo. Subject matter, there's not really much that there's not a like a set in stone subject I want to prioritize for the viewer while they're looking at this photo. Although maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea if we were to just maybe raise up this portion over here just so they can see that kind of in the off to the sides it's kind of dark, but then towards the center where really and realistically you can see the sunlight or the light source, as I'm going to call it. You can just see a little bit of this portion just ever so slightly a little bit more exposed. And quite frankly, I think with that we're actually going to add in another radio gradient. Again, I'm just going to see how this looks. Maybe warp it. I don't want to do too much, but warp it just so it gets the center. And then maybe if we were to just slightly raise the exposure, maybe add in some contrast as well. And then that way here, okay, now I'm kind of starting to see it. So as I'm looking at it, we're gonna kind of prioritize the center, kind of like what I've stated, that little center as, I guess, the subject in a way. Although I need to be very careful with these adjustments, especially with the exposure. I don't want to overdo it. But with maybe, okay, so I'm gonna prioritize this portion of mostly where the radio gradient covers. That's gonna be the subject. And what I would want to do as well is maybe if we add in several linear gradients, kind of fade in away, kind of add in more to that vignette effect. If we were to just decrease more the exposure, and that way here it can kind of focus more into the subject, if that makes sense. Just a little bit more. Me personally speaking, what if we were to raise it up a little bit more? Okay. All right, there. Now we got something. Mostly just consistent in the fact of radio gradients. Maybe, however, if I were to adjust this, maybe turn it a little bit. That one here, and then this one we kind of turn it as well. Okay, now we got something. Now I think if we were to, okay, hide the changes beforehand. Yeah, we kind of had that theme going on, but now we kind of got something as far as with, again, this would have been better if I had a subject like an actual person or whatever the case may be, but I think if we kind of make that illusion that over here where this tree is brighter, because realistically that's how it was, and then kind of blacken out the sides, adding more to that vignette effect, I think that makes it good. And quite frankly, I really liked how this came out. Although I was not expecting for me to do many changes, I really liked how it came out. So as far as what I see, I don't think there's anything else I would add into it. I was maybe debating on adding more of a radio gradient over here in the really kind of towards the center, but I think how we have it as far as with the layers of mask we've already included, I think that actually should be good. I wouldn't see if there's anything else, or I wouldn't change anything else, believe it or not, but I'm just gonna take a look to see if there's anything else I would add. But quite frankly, I think I'm actually happy with this, but we'll see. All right, so I checked, like I stated, I think I was pretty happy with what I did. I kind of went back and just slightly underexposed more of the linear gradients that we added here for 3 of the 4 sides, I guess you can say. I just slightly lowered more of the exposure just so we can add more to that vignette effect. And personally speaking, that is gonna be it for this photo. Again, with these past 2 photos, it wasn't gonna be much. Again, I'm just kind of prioritizing landscape, at least for this video and kind of last video. Raw photo, you know, we had a very nice photo of just a nice creek kind of following along with the or a nice creek along the forest. The edited, again, that it wasn't the main goal, but we kind of made that tree kind of dead in the center, the main focus of the photo. But I think with the effects we added into it, I really enjoyed that. So can't complain with this photo, and I'm kind of happy. I'm really happy how that came out, believe it or not. With me, how I had no idea as far as where or the direction of where this photo was gonna head towards. I actually really liked how that came out. But kind of back to what I've stated and kind of what I've dedicated this video, or the grand majority of this video, for, as far as any changes or really any new changes for this journey. Again, nothing's final, although I'm very much considering changing this style of the journey videos that I've been doing over the past 40 days or so, or 40 videos. Once I have something set in stone in mind that I'm gonna experiment or test out, then is when I will say, okay, starting this day is when I'm gonna start doing this. I just wanted to kind of get that out in a way for me to kind of get that out of my head, or because that was kind of a thought that I had all throughout the day, even during work, believe it or not. But I also wanted to let you guys know about that, just in case if you're getting tired of this little series that I've got going on as far as with the editing process for every photo that we've edited and published so far, right, in this journey, right? So again, nothing's finalized, but there may be some that I am very much going to consider, and who knows, there may be a switch in the journey soon. But maybe for right now, that's not the case. But I'll definitely let you guys know as far as what I got going on, or what I'm planning on doing, right? Other than that, that's all I really have for this video. I thank you all so much for watching. I do apologize for not uploading yesterday. Maybe what I should start doing is just having backup videos in case yesterday or any other day that I can't record and edit and publish, I use the backup. I've been thinking about that for the longest time, but I haven't done anything about it. But like I've stated, maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea, but we'll see. Other than that, that's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow on day 42.